Hi everybody, welcome to our posture lab today for bow pose. We got a special somebody dancing at the yoga studio today, so she's making a little guest appearance. And maybe we'll get her in to do the posture. Who knows? We'll see what kind of mood our mama is in. Anyway, let's get started with bow pose. My favorite posture, but I like them all.
So why do we need to do bow pose? Why is it your favorite posture?
Because it works the entire spine, top to bottom.
So it's going to combine the benefits of cobra, locust, and full locust. So all those three postures in the spine strengthening series are preparing you for the bow pose. It's also a combination of standing bow, obviously because it's a bow pose, as well as balancing stick. Really good for the heart, really opening up the chest. It's also going to increase the circulation in the spine, so it's going to revitalize all of your spinal nerves. It's also strengthening the round and shoulders, especially in Alberta or such cold climate in Edmonton. Most of the time we're walking, we're hunching the floor because we're keeping ourselves warm. So that leads a tendency to have rounded shoulders. So bow pose allows you to open up the shoulders. It's all from the kick, we'll talk about later, but as you kick, you start opening up the shoulders. As you open up the shoulders, you increase the frontal chest cavity. By increasing the chest, obviously you're going to improve your respiratory system. You're going to be able to maximally expand your lungs and maximally intake of your oxygen. So important to breathe deeply, so important to breathe effectively, so this posture is helping you open up. The last thing we'll talk about is also it's going to compress and stimulate your thymus gland, and that helps regulate eating cycle. So that helps a lot of different eating disorders by really focusing on the thymus gland, focusing and releasing hormones internally. Alright, so let's talk about techniques of bow pose. So if Eva can demonstrate this.
Let me show you how it's done. So, grip is so important.
So you want to grab the feet from the outside. It's okay to struggle if you're struggling to grab the feet. That just shows a little bit of inflexibility in the body. But every day you try. And see, even if you can only grab one leg, we'll be able to demonstrate one leg. There's so many other postures where you're going to eventually grab both. Right? So both legs, or the other one you can do is put your hand like this. And now you're kicking and you're lifting your chest a little bit. But don't worry, over time you'll get it. One of the tricks of grabbing both legs, if you're struggling to grab both legs, is open up your legs wider and then see if that happens, alright? But if you can grab it, no problem. Try to bring your knees in close. So remember, this is a kicking posture. You want to be kicking 100%. You're using the power of your kick to open up your entire spine. The kick is also going to open up your shoulders. Your arms are relaxed. Your wrists are straight, but your arms are locked. There's never pulling. And with the feet, you're actually kicking into the hands. You're kicking up and into the hands. So one of the things you want to do is learn to think about the small of the back. Push your stomach into the ground. Think about pushing your buttocks into the ground. That's what's going to help you kick your legs up. Now, as you're kicking, try to think what muscles you're connecting in your butt, what muscles you're connecting in your thighs to kick up more, And you can see that her shoulders, her chest is opening up through the power of the kick. The arms are nice and relaxed, but you're kicking from the legs.
So what we see often is people will go lift the chest up and then the legs stay where they are. But if you start, and I kept demonstrating that, putting tension into the legs so you're getting your arms nice and straight and opening up. So there's a big difference between this, which is actually really hard to do. You're putting a lot of compression on the stomach and it's hard even to talk like this. Whereas if I go like this, there's so much more mobility and you're not really compressing, sinking. I can talk really freely doing this. So it's quite a big difference.
So as you're first starting out in this practice, focus on the kick first, then look up and then bring your chest up. As you become more and more proficient, you're trying to time it together. But as a beginner, yes, exactly. Focus on the kick. Now you look back. Try to see your toes. Maybe one day you're going to see your toes and you're going to look at your heels. One day you'll be able to see your heels, and one day maybe you'll be able to see your knees, right? You're always trying to use your eyes to look back further and further and further.
I'll demonstrate it quickly this way as well. Adam, you're in my way. So that you could see, trying to keep the feet and the hips aligned. And let me tell you, it ain't easy, but you're trying to do the best. If your legs, knees start just opening up, you're getting into the hips more rather than the spine. So if you're keeping everything in alignment, the only thing bending is going to be your spine.
And as she kicks up higher and higher and higher, she has to roll forward more. So the higher you kick, always think about rolling forward a little bit more so that your toes are in the center of the spine. So as high as it went up, she could roll a little bit more further, really learning to balance on your abdomen.
Oh, it's such a good spine strengthening posture, and it takes a lot of effort, but it's worth every second.
So a couple things on energetics of the bow pose. It's going to help release insecurities. It's going to help you express yourselves more creatively and more openly. It also releases the stress of thinking about others, trying to control others, and all that stress, just let it go. All you can do is control your breathing. You can control your own life and be the example that you want to see in this world, right? It's all about taking care of ourselves first, so it allows us to be able to take care of others.
Thanks so much for joining us for this Posture Lab. Hope you enjoyed our guest appearance with Mama Mia, and we'll see you next time. Just a few more postures to go, and we've got them all.